Where did your mindset come from? Obviously, because I'm sure where you grew up, there's a lot of broken mindsets, just like you see, I mean, really all around the world. Very few people have the correct mindset. I'd say way less than 1%. How did you develop it? Was it your father, or did you start reading?
I do read a lot, but I am also very honest with myself. I only know what I know. I lean a lot to my parents. Like whenever I'm stuck in life, even now, whenever I'm stuck and I don't know where to go or what to do, I'll pick up my phone and call my mom, or call my dad, because they are there to support me. Coming into this country, I knew there were like a lot of opportunities, and then, like you said, people who are doing it, they are not all doing something illegal. Like there are great people out there doing good things legally, and if they can do it, so can I. And I just felt like, okay, everything that I'm trying to do has been done already. I don't have to reinvent the wheels, right? And I remember my dad, he told me one day when I was growing up, there are two ways to make it in life. If you want to succeed in something, you can either put yourself to school to learn it, or you can find someone to learn from. And the first option was never going to be my option because I don't trust the school system. Then my second option was to find somebody to learn from. That's where, when I got started into entrepreneurship, I found mentors. I found Sean, I found Scott that I knew I had to learn from. And I was open with them. I was honest with them. I only know what I know. I need guidance, I need coaching, and I'm not afraid to ask for help. So I think having this vulnerable mindset was key to me. Plus, I'm stubborn. Like when I set my mind to do something, even when it's going to cost me everything, I will still do it.
I mean, it's very similar to mine. Is once again, so like I had to find local mentors, but I also had to find mentors that were no longer even living. So I was all across the internet. That's when I was looking for Jim Rohns and Bob Proctors and Les Browns and those types of individuals. But then I also had to find actual real people in my local market that I can work with. So what's interesting is in the US and in Canada, we have traditional education systems where a lot of the world, that's not how it is. They go through an apprentice system where they come up and they're apprenticed, or they come on a mentor-mentee relationship, and they don't ever actually really focus on traditional education.
Right.
And it is kind of that cycle of life where one helps the other one, just like we talked about. And then once they have those skill sets, they pass it down generation to generation. That's why sometimes you hear this family line was, like woodworking or metal shops or iron sculpting and things like that. But every generation for like 1,000 years, because that information is traveling through that family line. But
right.
I think the most important thing that comes down to great success is, obviously things like work ethic and knowledge and everything's important, but is making big decisions and making decisions when it's a tough decision to make. And I think that's where a lot of people, they know what they need to do and they get right up to that decision and they can't pull the trigger. So what would you say to that person now that you know how your story played out and how their story could play out? We'll wrap it up with this. What would you tell them if they were there where they know the decision they need to make, but they're scared to make it? What advice would you give that person?
Sometimes it comes down to basically taking risk. Like as entrepreneurs, we take risk every single day in everything we do, because being an agent, you wake up in the morning, you are not guaranteed you're going to have an income, but you do it anyway. It's a risk you are taking, right? And then that goes with something my dad used to tell me. If you don't take risk in life, that's going to be the biggest risk you take. And then for most people who are afraid for change, who are afraid to take decisions, again, as a believer, I do believe that God doesn't put an idea in my head for no reason. If I wake up in the morning and then there is an idea in my head that is very strong, I'm not going to let my fear stop me from actually making a decision. You have a lot of resources around you. You can talk to people who are in that space and just have their perspective, right? Let's have the insights to help you maybe drive your decisions, because again, you don't have to do it all alone. Everything we are trying to accomplish has been done with people. Find those people, ask them questions, and then pray, and then see what's going to happen.